Boyfriend cheated on me and then got better, and now I'm just confused. First of all, this will be a little lengthy, so please bear with me. But for some background, my boyfriend and I met in our later high school years and have been on and off for about 4 years. We are both very strong in our faith as well and have went to the same church for quite some time. At the early stages of our relationship, we had broken up twice. After dating 4 months, he broke it off with me just to date one of his close friends. We got back together 3 months later, then dated for almost a year, and he broke it off with me to be with a girl he had been close with 4 years. Dated her for a month, and then we got back together again. Of course this sucked, but we were both in high school for the majority of this. After all of this, we had both graduated. Things felt more serious, of course. And he is not the college type. I had been in college for about a year already because I'm a little older than him. But just wanted to clarify, we both still lived at home and in our hometown, and neither of us went off to college. About another new year into our relationship after this breakup, and things are going good. But then I have a girl approach me on social media with screenshots proving he had slightly flirted with her. She also had a boyfriend and was trying to cover her side as well. I could tell this from the screenshots because she had not saved certain Snapchat messages she sent, but had everything he had said. But I confronted him with this, willing to work on things, thinking this was the only girl. I had simply asked for his phone during this conversation, which he was denying some of the things she told me, but he had admitted he was flirting with her. During this convo, I had asked to see his phone, since he was telling me here was nobody else. But when he gave me his phone, I seen girl after girl. He had been talking to multiple, sliding up on their stories. A lot had not responded back, but some had. Some of them, it looked like they talked for multiple days. As he watched me look through everything, I was literally speechless. He then admitted to me he had been doing this on and off basically the whole time we had been together. I had also found out he had had sex with a girl twice while we were together. But after this whole talk, he was super upset, freaking out, and then told me he was willing to do absolutely anything to work on things with me and to get better. He told me he felt as though he was in a repeating chain that he didn't know how to get out of, but that he wanted a future with me. We both agreed on this, went and talked to our pastors at church, and they helped a lot with the situation. And he had told me he wanted to delete social medias for a while. He deleted Snapchat and Instagram, again willingly. I didn't make him do this, and we started reading the Bible together every night and praying together. Things were really fantastic. It seemed like for both of us, we were getting closer to each other, more open, planning out a future together. He was even making conversations of us getting a small house together, and we were getting closer to God together. Then, the week came that he was going on vacation with his childhood friend and his family. June of this year. This is a yearly thing, and I know his best friend and their entire family. However, I did express to him the night before he left I was a little nervous about him leaving due to the past of him cheating. I was overwhelmed and crying, and we talked it out. He tells me everything is fine and that he is going to make good decisions. He gets down on vacation, and the first day he is there, he splits it off with me. FaceTimes me and tells me he can't do this anymore because he knows while he is on vacay he can't be loyal to me. We agreed to talk face to face when he came back home, but in the meantime that entire week, he barely talked to me, maybe twice, and he re-downloaded all of his social medias. When he returns home we talk. He tells me he just wants to be single for a while but still wants a future with me, but just wants time to figure himself out. It was a good talk and was peaceful, and I was hurt but understood. The next day, we see each other at church, and he tells me shortly after that he regrets all of his decisions. Tells me he wants us to work towards getting back together, and me trusting him, I agree, and we start hanging out again daily for a little bit. Things were going good, and we talked a lot out. That next week he seems as though he's focusing on his relationship with God a lot more. Writing down things in church, getting prayed for, talking to people, etc. Things seem great. We start talking about how this time God will be in the center of our relationship and we will both know what God's purpose is for us before we officially get back together. During this time he kept his socials, but gave me the passwords to them in case I wanted to look at them. He put these in my phone. I didn't ask him to. Well, 2 days after our discussion about getting closer to God we plan to hang out. He talks about hanging out all day and then tells me last minute he can't. Then I receive a notification from one of his socials that he had met a girl he met while on vacay, telling her to add him on another social. I was crushed. Nicely confronted him about it, and he told me he's done and wants to worry about himself and only himself. Then in this same weekend he went to a party with his friends and had posted he was with multiple girls in his car. He has barely talked to me since. Sent me a video of me when he had seen me out in our hometown, just to be kinda funny I guess. Asked me if I was okay, and that has been it. Nothing else has been said. I'm absolutely crushed. I've never felt so empty. I just really had faith that things were getting better and that this was going to work out because he seemed so involved and was even talking to me about how much he was going to prove to me that he was sorry and wanted to prove to me how bad he wants a future with me. We were best friends. Literally did everything together. We have mutual friends who have told me he's already almost in a relationship with another girl and that he told them he was basically tired of giving me reassurance and that he's basically done for good with me. But I felt as though since we had been working on things, after I found out he cheated things were so much better. I was really starting to trust him. I feel like this is all my fault because I didn't show him I trusted him maybe, or because I needed the reassurance. I have lost so much weight and feel like I'm going down a dark hole because of this. Can anyone give me advice or even just tell me your opinion on all of this? First off, none of this is your fault. At all. This is his own issue, and it has nothing to do with you. My advice, run far, far away from this boy. He will never be satisfied with any girl. He will only leave you broken. Block him on everything. It will suck at first, but future self will thank you. You got this. Yes this, but also it sounds like op is the fallback. Had a friend who dealt with this. Her boyfriend of 3 years decided that he hadn't gotten his chance to sleep around and, despite the fact that they had been looking at engagement rings, told her that he wanted to get the chance to see other people, but he wanted a future with her. That is, he wanted the freedom to sleep around, and, if none of them were better, he would have a guaranteed backup. My friend fell for it, and half a year later, after they had supposedly talked about officially getting back together and nothing happened, we stopped being friends shortly thereafter, so I'm not 100% sure what came of it all, but it's just not fair to the person in op's position. Not to mention I would forever find it difficult to trust the other person again, even if they hadn't managed to do the deed with another person. It would take some serious talking and communicating before I would ever consider it, and if they slipped up, that would be it. To op, focus on yourself and realize that none of this is your fault. You've done what you could in order to do right by your relationship. Looking for reassurance isn't breakup worthy. He just doesn't know how to truly commit, it seems. Look forward. Find someone who's willing to commit and be there for you. I hate to be rude, but girl, you need to get a clue. I know that you are blinded by love, but I need you to take a step back and really evaluate the writing on the wall. 1. You do not matter to him like he matters to you. He could give a fuck less about your feelings, or that his actions hurt you, something he's made abundantly clear time and time again, and you allow him to do this to you repeatedly. 2. You are the backup. You are his means of entertainment between other women, and you have proven that no matter what he does or says, you are still going to let him use you like that. 3. He doesn't actually want a future with you, and even if he did, are you really okay with the fact that you'll be waiting obediently at home while he sleeps with countless other women? He has his cake and eats it too, and you are serving that very cake on a silver platter. 4. He doesn't deserve your loyalty. I know your heart is soft to him now, but with some time and distance the fog will clear, and I assure you, you will realize how much better you feel away from him. 5. The fault you have here is not because you didn't trust him enough, it is because you trusted him at all. Take accountability but don't blame yourself. Gather your strength and your courage and move on. Pray for this strength if you need to, and see yourself for the independent, brave, intelligent individual that you are. Please. You have so much to offer and so much love to give. Don't waste it on him. You deserve so much better. Rely on your friends and family for support in this time. It seems you both love him equally, so go find someone that loves you, that deserves you. Now when I block someone's number, their social media, I take the control back. I no longer sit around knowing they did or didn't call. Do this. You are so strong. Let him cry on someone else's shoulder, because you can no longer be bothered. You've got this. He will come back. Please love yourself more this time, and do not take him back. He is selfish, and you deserve someone that puts you first. This guy's not going to change, especially because you keep taking him back every single time he messes up, or dumps you without a second thought. You are his backup plan. When he feels sad or lonely, you're there, but when he wants to have fun he goes out with whomever he wants. None of this is your fault. It sounds like your relationship with him has been a lot of him testing your grace. He really doesn't know what he wants. You've been loyal to him, so you're honestly a gem, and he took advantage of your grace and mistook it for meekness. Him telling his friends that he's tired of you seeking reassurance is ridiculous. The only reason you're seeking reassurance is because of his own behavior. He knew what he was doing when he was going on vacation. You both know better. Don't allow him to reassure you in anything anymore. You've given him enough chances. You're strong for putting up with his behavior. There's no commitment to him now, and that's a good thing. You have the opportunity to realize your own value by seeking validation from the one and only in prayer and community. Do this for yourself. This was painful to read. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Please love yourself more than you love this guy. He is not going to change. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. Some people can't help themselves but to cheat. Just know any future with him will be him mostly cheating on you and then saying he regrets it. You deserve so much better. Extremely painful to read. Just take this as a lesson to listen to what your partner tells you with how words and actions. He cheated and flirted with multiple women. He said he is unable to be faithful on vacation. Lol, what? He gave you the signs he didn't love you, but you ignored them. You say you're confused. So I will lay it out in plain English. He likes hooking up with you, and you let him without being faithful. Why would he stop playing you? He's getting the best of both worlds. A good GF, and sleeping with new women whenever he wants. He will keep you around until he finds a girl he considers marriage material. You know what to do, we know what you should do. He's manipulative, untrustworthy, he will lie, so don't fall for it. He'll say he's sorry. PLS, don't take him back. He will hurt you again. It will take a big toll on your mental health and can affect different parts of your life. This guy has not mature enough to know what he wants in life, and he truly took you for granted. Trust me, there are plenty of guys/men out there that have a good heart and will be loyal to you. Don't give up hope. It seems hard now because it feels like an open wound since you were so close and gave your heart to him. But he doesn't deserve you, and certainly you don't want to go back to him. He will realize later on what he lost because you are devoted to your faith, and good things will follow you. Trust me. The Lord only gives you what you can handle, and you have to find that inner strength and push through. Don't let him take away anything else from you. You're going to be just fine and a lot happier. Now you know what a dishonest person looks and feels like. Recognizing and avoiding this type of people will help you find yourself, and with that, take care of yourself. I'm sorry, you seem like a sweet person, but sadly, this thing going on with him is not healthy for any of you. You're better off without him. Find a kind soul, a respectful man. You totally deserve so much better than what you're getting with this. This guy is very conflicted, but cannot resist his urges. There are definitely men out there that are more aligned to what you are looking for. Good luck. Has just done it for himself. Stop letting this pose use his faith as leverage, that he will change. He's proven he won't. I never understand why females do this. Love is an excuse to me, because I've been in love too. But once he cheated, I cut all ties off, and focused on myself. You should know your worth, and never let a man disrespect you. Set higher standards for yourself. You're continuing to disrespect yourself over and over again by letting him F you over. You're showing him that his actions are okay, and the worst part about it is that he knows he has control over you. He knows you're going to say yes, so that's why he keeps doing it over and over again. And TBH, I hate to say it, but a lot of the men like him are comforted knowing they have a girl in the same position as you. As a second option, and if it doesn't work out with other females, they run right back to you, and you have to realize you should never be a second option. I hope you get help and set higher standards for yourself, and even if he's your best friend, you still need to set boundaries for yourself and allow yourself to heal. It's really the best feeling in the world, finding all your hobbies again and finding yourself again, but you can always feel free to try dating apps if you want to explore more people. Don't give up on love. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Mine is a similar story, and you need to take care of yourself and focus on yourself. One day you will realize it has nothing to do with you lacking and has to do with his own issues he needs to work out. You can't help him. He will only set you back in the process. I know that sounds so cliche, but it's a fact of life, and you will eventually be able to see it with clearer vision. Take care of yourself please, and try to stay away from contact with him. It will only cause you more pain. He might change one day, but not anytime soon. And giving him another chance right now might seem like the easiest or quick solution to your pain, but it will only prolong the inevitable. He might get someone else pregnant one day and start a family, or leave you with an incurable disease, and then you will be hurt forever. He is not a safe person for you, unfortunately, but you have to protect yourself please. Any relationship built on the myth of some caring god is on a shaky foundation. Base your relationship in your mutual needs and desires. If there is incompatibility, move on. Thus jerk never cared for you. Give your love and loyalty to someone who deserves it. But seriously, no god is forcing your will or fate. Be brave enough to know you are the master of your destiny. Go find the good in the world. He's using you. He has been using you since you guys started. He gets to do everything he wants while lying to you all the time. You should reflect on why you allowed this guy to walk all over you. Your relationship was toxic. He's even trash talking you now, and you still wonder what you did wrong? Only wrong thing you did was forgiving a cheater. If you keep taking him back, you will never be truly happy. You'll always wonder when he will do this to you again. And he will, again and again. Because now he thinks you will always take him back, and he doesn't need to respect you at all. This is not your fault. He is just a disloyal person. It will hurt, and it will be hard, but do not ever take him back. Someday in the future you'll be with a better person who really loves you and respects you, and you'll be so happy that you were strong enough in the past to seek something better for yourself. Stay strong. You needed a lot of reassurance because he kept leaving you for other women. Actions speak louder than words. You can't just let some sweet talker come in and tell you all the things you want to hear and take those words as reality. Every time you take him back, he loses respect for you because he can just lie to you and you just accept it. Don't get lost in the sweet things he says to get you back in line. Those are lies. The truth is he has been keeping you as a placeholder while he kept dating and lied to your face about it. The only caring thing this guy has done is to stop wasting your time. The only thing that keeps a man is a man who wants to be kept. No amount of monitoring, talking, asking, pleading, watching will stop a man from cheating if he wants to cheat. People don't change, especially not that fast. He has showed you girl and time again who he is. So why is it so hard for you to believe it? You need to spend time alone, rediscover your self-worth, Build your self-esteem and become comfortable with yourself. His actions are things you shouldn't have been putting up with in the first place. I know from experience that sometimes you think God is giving you signs about a person being the one, but he's not. God is merely providing you with an experience to learn from and better yourself with. You put up with more than any person should have to with this awful guy, and I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. I was cheated on almost a year ago, and I also had that moment where he said he'd do anything to fix things, but then after a month was back on Tinder and broke up with me because he couldn't deal with me constantly bringing up what he did and making him feel bad. Even though it had only been a month since he cheated, and I shouldn't have been the one making him feel bad, he should have felt bad on his own because he did a bad thing. Time will give you better perspective and understanding of the purpose of everything. It's hard to go through a horrible situation like you did and not wonder why God let you suffer, but everything has its purpose. For me, my ex's friends defended me and listened to me and stuck with me throughout the breakup, and not their friend they had known for years. They are now the best friends I've ever had, and I couldn't imagine life without them. I know that if I hadn't dealt with all that, if I hadn't been cheated on, and didn't see how wonderful and supportive they were through my healing process, we probably wouldn't be as close as we are now. God put my ex in my life, not for the ex himself, but for the people I would meet through him. At least that's how I feel. It's hard to not blame yourself after a breakup, but please try to really take this in. You didn't do anything wrong. Nothing you could have done could have changed his behavior, no matter how many chances you give him and how understanding you are. The only thing that can help him is a professional, which he desperately needs. Going to the church for help is of course good, but God put therapists on earth for a reason, right? He should take advantage of one, and you should too. I did after my breakup, and it helped a lot. You are obviously an insanely kind person for putting up with that much, and I have no doubt in my mind that you will meet someone who appreciates you for that kindness one day, rather than trying to take advantage of it. You are beautiful and sweet and smart, way too good for your ex. He's gonna realize that again soon, and come crawling back, and when he does you will have the strength to say no. And believe me, that's a good feeling. Finally being the one to say no. Sorry for rambling, but in conclusion, no matter what you cannot get back with that guy. Let yourself cry and feel everything, as long as you need to. Don't ever feel like you should be at a different place in your healing process. Your process is your own, and it will have its own pace. God has wonderful things in mind that will come to you soon. You can message me if you need someone to talk to. You got this. You're amazing. Thank you all. If story will have update will post here. Do comment about the story. Like and subscribe for upcoming stories.